Well, I imagine there were a ton of publishers then who would have loved to just taken your stuff
I
and
would
run
have
with
gave it to him. I would have gave it to him. I would have gave it to him.
Yeah.
I would say, yeah, because all we wanted to do was make a record.
Yeah.
I didn't know nothing about royalties
yeah.
and nothing like. I didn't know. At 16, are you kidding?
Right.
No, I didn't know. So I'd have been. We just wanted to make a record,
Right.
but he didn't do that. He was into Christ. He was a holy.
He was a Christian
man, and thank God, because he started rather than take.
Right.
He started teaching me about. He said, whatever you do, don't ever sell your songs. He said, don't ever sell your songs because you never know what you got.
Wow.
So that stayed with me all these years and still is in my age today. So he started teaching me about songwriting and the royalties and publishing.
Right, right.
Which I learned very well. And thank God now I have my own publishing company and all that good stuff.
Oh, yeah.
It all came to pass.
Truly, Maurice.
Thanks to him.
Well, we think the two names, I mean, folks have got to wonder, what happened to William Massey there? I mean,
well,
him having
he's a
not
Catholic.
shown up, yeah.
He's a Catholic. He's a Catholic minister now.
Right, right.
Up in what is it? It's Canada.
Okay,
in
yes,
Canada.
yes. So he did just fine.
He did fine.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
fine.
Absolutely. And of course, that idea, when you think about that aspect for Ernie, other than being a Christian, I mean, that desire, there were so many other folks there in Nashville
Yes.
who just would have been taking that music and running with it.
That's exactly
How
right.
about your own parents? How did they, what were their thoughts, your family thoughts about you being over in Nashville and learning the ropes over there as opposed to coming on back to Lancaster?
Well, they wanted me to. My mother wanted me to. My mother encouraged me to do this, to do the whole music thing.
Right.
She encouraged me. She was always with me.
Really?
She always believed in me, and she always told me, you can do it.
Wow.
But I want you to do it right because it is a serious business.
Oh, yeah.
She taught me that, and she read to me from the Bible, and she taught me all the good things. And she stayed with me, and then my aunt was the same way, my Aunt Inez.
Aunt Inez,
The same way they
yes.
stayed with me and encouraged me when I was a youngster, even before I went to Nashville.
Right, right.
They encouraged me to stay with the business, kept me in church, which I stayed, kept me in school, taught me the finer things of life, and the education and the business, and to stay with it, stay with the music, no matter what. They stayed behind.
Right.
And with them behind me, I couldn't go wrong.
Oh, yeah.
They let me rehearse right there at home.
Is that right?
We had a piano, and I could bring the whole band in and rehearse right there in my home.
Wow.
And we did all that, and they was with me all the way.
That's amazing.
Yeah, they loved
this
it.
confluence of a family supporting,
Yes.
meeting a Christian producer there who would open the doors for you.
That's
this just
amazing.
doesn't happen. I mean,
It don't happen.
Or it didn't
It don't.
happen in the mid-50s then. As
No,
you
it really didn't. It really didn't. And I tell you, especially me, the little black guy
Right.
that didn't know anything,
Yeah.
he started teaching me right then in the 50s. That happened. Oh, yeah, it happened.
Was Ernie a black guy?
No,
was a white
Ernest
guy,
white
yeah,
guy.
yeah.
He's a white guy. And he
Even
started
more
teaching me. Yeah, that's what I'm
impressive.
saying.
Yeah, I mean,
That's what
yeah,
I'm saying,
exactly.
yeah.
I mean, you highlighted earlier that Lancaster High School was a white high school. I mean, so there were clearly differences, some stark differences in the country and in the South
This was
at that time.
56.
Another big reason why Ernie.
It don't happen. It didn't happen then. Look at Little Richard.
Yeah.
He tell you in a heartbeat. He say, they stole my song. Because they didn't steal them. Richard gave them away. He sold them.
Sold them.
He sold them. And then I think he got most of them back, thank God. Today, as a matter of fact, I know he did. But in the beginning, they didn't steal. He sold them. But they did take a lot of stuff from guys back then. So we were blessed. We were very
You
blessed.
also had a sister, and I know, and I'm sorry to say, I think you shared earlier that she'd passed away recently, who was very supportive and who was a pianist.
She's a classical pianist. Carol was. And she taught in the Lancaster school system. She taught school there and the choir and everything. And she was inspirational in helping me with my piano work and everything. And she wanted me to be a classical pianist. I say no. No. Because she would, I heard Chatterloon all day long. You know, all day long. One piece of music. She would practice Greg all day long. I said, no, I can't do that. I heard Fats Domino going, I said, that's me there.
Right.
I can do about 10 of them in one day, while you still learning one song.
Same one, yeah.
So, but she taught me a lot of chords, and my uncle taught me a lot of jazz chords. And between them and Fats Domino and Lord Price and all the guys, I learned how to do that piano thing.
I'm glad you mentioned Fats Domino. He was a big inspiration, wasn't he?
Yes, he was.
Was he one of the biggest, other than your family, and then of course Ernie Young? Who were at that time real big inspirations?
Fats Domino was.
Really? Yeah.
Fats Domino was, and Ray Charles.
Ray Charles,
Definitely.
Yes.
I think those two, and then Billy Ward and the Dominoes came, along, and very inspirational. But when it comes to the piano, Fats Domino wasn't it?
Right.
Because there's three chords, three little chords. That's what I do. That's what I write by. So what he played sounded so simple. Fats could play something, man, and I got it in a minute. I got it
really?
Like that. No problem. Yeah, I picked that right straight up. It's so simple.
Oh, yeah.
So simple. And then the songs, like, they came along like, In the Still of the Night, the Five Satin, do-do-do-do, do-do, and shoo-be-doo, boom-boom, shoo. To me, that stuff was so simple.
Now, did it stay so simple so that it'd be popular to America?
It did.
Right, I mean, was that part of it? Yeah.
Yes. The simplicity of the song is why they are still around today. Neil Diamond once said, no matter what, no matter how much, how complicated the arrangement is, the lyric, the melody, simple.
Right.
Or an average man in the street can sing it, and melody. You can have strings, all the strings in the world. But the melody is simple. You got it going.
In my barber shop the other day, hearing him talk as some Christmas music was piping in about how 50 years from now this Tony Bennett song would be equally popular.
Sure.
Wherein oftentimes some of the really big artists now, you may not remember them. Maurice Williams is as popular today as when you were writing that, and obviously it was being performed, even getting stuck there at number 2. But I mean, you possibly even more popular
today. Yes.
When you've got the world's largest retailer saying, "Maurice, we want a piece of that. We want it in here." It's not just online at Walmart.com. It's there in stores. Folks walk in there now, either in Charlotte or in California. I mean, it's amazing.
It is. It really is. Yeah. It's beautiful, fantastic.
I bet it is. As you think back, obviously, all those days, early days of performing. Do you remember the first time you performed? Was it the talent show there in Lancaster, the first big performance? Yeah,
that was the first big one.
Right.
It really was. That was the first big one.
And of course, for you, as you were writing songs, and at that time essentially directing, and planning on playing the piano and not performing because you were writing these for William Massey. The idea that you would actually move into this position, was that ever intimidating at all to think about becoming the lead guy? Because oftentimes I guess the singer is kind of the front man or woman for a band.
It is indeed. No, once he gave it to me, Ernie Young gave it to me, and I ran with it, and it came out and it was a hit. That's another thing. It was a hit. I had no problem with it. Then later on in my career, James Brown taught me to get from behind the piano, because I used to stand up and play.
Right.
And, I had the audience like this, stand up and play and sing. So James Brown at the Apollo told me, my buddy Brown, may he rest in peace, he said, you need to get from behind the piano, come out front, face the audience like this, and sing. He said, that's what they want. They want you. Not you back here, half of you over here, half of you there. They want all of you this way. He said, like I do. I took him up on it. And it worked.
And it worked.
It worked big time.
It worked.
Absolutely
It
worked big time. It's good.
Wow.
For real.
Did you ever perform with James Brown?
Yeah. We worked together for days, for years.
Is that right?
We did a lot of stuff at the Apollo.
Yeah.
And it's true. He was the hardest working man in show business.
Was he really? Yeah.
We had a morning show to do, and then he had the big show, was that 12 o'clock midnight show on a Saturday night. This is when your biggest audience is there.
Right.
But Brown worked as hard on that 11 o'clock morning show as he did on that midnight Saturday night show.
Wow.
And I'm here to witness. He did all the splits. He did that.
Come on.
In the morning. Yes, he did.
In the morning, just
Greg,
like
that Clay did, man. He really did. He get out there in the morning, man. He come out there and do all that dancing and split, and do the splits on the floor at that time of morning. He did it.
That is amazing.
He was amazing.
Yeah. Like you said, that idea that at the Apollo, the lights are shining so much,
Yeah,
you don't know who's there.
No, you
But at the
your
same
best.
time, if he was performing that way in the morning like he was at midnight,
It didn't matter. He do it.
he obviously was a great encourager for you.
He was. I couldn't dance or nothing like that. But the inspiration and the energy that he brought with him and the way he handled himself, the business, the whole ball game. He was show business.
Yeah.
That's right. He was it.
Yeah.
For real.
What years were those, Maurice? Do you remember those critical years that you were performing with him? I mean, obviously,
Yeah, it was
what
like,
year it was. Yeah.
Stay came out in 60. It was in 60, 61,
Right,
62.
right.
That's when it was.
Yeah.
It was going on at the Apollo, man.
To think about Stay, that's the first time that's come out of your mouth, and we've just got a minute left, and obviously
Yeah.
we're thrilled that you'll come back and be with us tomorrow.
Oh, man, my pleasure.
Obviously,
My
the Walk
pleasure. I wouldn't miss it for nothing.
Foundation, but the idea of Stay,
Yeah.
to think about that in the 80s, getting up to, I think, 8 million records there.
More now.
RCA.
Thank
Yeah, obviously
God.
many more now. To think about that, Maurice,
Yes. It's
must be.
amazing.
Yeah.
It is amazing. It's such a blessing, Greg. God is so good. You know.
Those are great ways to wrap. Thanks so much for being with us
My
this morning. Can't wait
pleasure.
to get you back tomorrow.
I'll be here tomorrow.
Absolutely.
Okay, man. All
Stay
right.
tuned to more Carolina People with Maurice Williams coming up next. What advice would Maurice Williams give to an aspiring artist trying to kick off his career? You got to come back tomorrow to find out. What song is he most often asked to perform? Stay tuned. Tomorrow's the big day. Of course, you want to hear about the Doo-Wop show on educational television. You can hear a little bit about it. We just went 25 minutes, and right there at the end, Stay came out. You got to come back to hear a little more about the exciting opportunities, not only of performing Stay, but performing in London in front of an amazing big crowd. See what it's all about. Come back. Maurice Williams Part 2 tomorrow here on Fox TV.